Hello, everyone. My name is Søren. I'm the author of the Master Key Vocal System. I'm also the master teacher at the MKVS. I would like to welcome all of you to our very first webinar, where you can ask me anything that you would like. We're currently planning to host many more webinars in the future, where we will have awesome guests, live singing, pro tips, and a lot more. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for our live streams here on YouTube Live. In today's webinar, I would like to talk a little bit about who I am, what MKVS is, and why I created the MKVS and my journey. So say hello to everyone in the chat. Let's see who is in there, and say hello to each other and tell us where you're from. Oh, hello, Josh. and Alex as well. Hello, Alex. Nice to see you here. Where are you both from? I kind of know who you are, but let's hear. Some other people might not know. And of course, feel free in the chat to ask me anything during the webinar. At least at the end, I will go through all the questions, okay? Oh, and hello, MH from Hungary. Amazing. And Joshua is currently from Amsterdam, watching eagerly. Amazing, Joshua. Really happy to hear. And please let me know if everything is good volume-wise and you can see me clearly and all those cool things, right? Oh, and Alex is from the UK. We love the UK. Awesome, everyone. So, however, I would like to remind you that we have a platform where we can discuss everything offline as well. So it's on our website that's called the MKVS Forum. If you're not MKVS licensed already, please use the first option, which is the public forum. The other two are for student and teacher licensees only. And of course, you can always contact us on our emails, which are contact@themkvs.com or Søren Sedit @themkvs.com. Or of course on any of our social media platforms, which of course is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as shown on the screen, I hope. Let me just see. Amazing. Okay, so a little about myself. I was born in Denmark, if you didn't know already, and I have always loved music ever since I can remember. My mother always said that I ran in front of the TV when MTV was running, and just started dancing like like a little crazy kid in my toddler period. And it's when MTV had music, so I'm sorry if you don't remember that period. Now it's more TV shows than anything else, right? But yeah, when I got a bit older, at the age of 10, I picked up my first acoustic guitar. Didn't like the lesson so much, so I actually ended like less than a year after, and then I picked it up later again. But around the age of 11 or 12, I started singing in a choir, which I did for approximately 3 years. When I hit my teens, I found out about this amazing style of music called metal music. You might notice piercings and tattoos. That's probably why. I was instantly impressed and hooked on the sound, and got my first electric guitar approximately when I was 14 or maybe 13, and started playing that a lot every single day. After I was done with grade school, I went to a specific style of school in Denmark that's kind of like a high school, where I formed my first band, where I sang and played guitar at the same time. When we had to play live in front of people, I felt that the guitar was more in the way of me moving around than anything else on stage. So I ended up actually putting the guitar on the guitar stand, which is over there right now. So I didn't have to stand and play guitar at the same time as singing. So I started focusing more on becoming a frontman and the lead singer of the band. So how did I become a teacher, you might ask? I was first a teacher at the Danish Metal Academy, which is, you can kind of tell, a Danish company, right? Who contacted me after I released an album with a Danish death metal band. Yeah, very heavy metal, huh? And the owner was impressed and wanted me to become a teacher at their company, which I did for a few years. Later, I started teaching martial arts for a bit, which I always loved from the age of approximately 10. So I've been doing jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and a little bit of MMA and Kung Fu as well. But I felt that I was missing something. And of course, that one thing was teaching how the voice works and how to sing. One day, I suddenly saw a company on YouTube from the UK that was teaching rock and metal styles of singing. And I was instantly interested, to be honest. I ended up contacting them and asked for a job interview. So I traveled all the way from the UK, all the way from Denmark to the UK, of course. And a year after, I actually became a teacher at the company called the RMS Vocal Institute. One of the main reasons that I needed a year, Søren did not play piano. So I had to learn how to play piano and sing correctly at the same time, which of course is kind of expected, right? Never picked up a piano before. And actually only 2 years after, I actually ended up becoming the head teacher at the RMS Vocal Institute, which is a title I hold to this day. So hope you're still all with us in the chat and didn't fall asleep about a little story about myself. Amazing, Alex. Great that you can hear me. Haha. And Joshua wants to hear a little bit more about ventricular folds. Well, I understand that. I do love ventricular folds as well. Awesome. So before we go any further, I have a little bit of some definitions so you all can follow what's going on. In general, from this live stream, any future live streams, webinars, and of course the MKVS videos that's upcoming. So you understand exactly what I mean, or at least close to. So let's go into it. First and foremost, what is the MKVS? I'm sure you have already figured out that the MKVS stands for the Master Key Vocal System. However, the Master Key Vocal System can actually describe more than one thing. MKVS is a comprehensive vocal production system for all styles and all kinds of voice types and all genders. So no one is excluded. So it's a unique vocal pedagogy which includes a series of special hearing tests, a mix of theoretical and practical knowledge that is built around neuroscience, It also has old Chinese ideologies and a strong somatic understanding of the body. It also includes a bit of theoretical insight into basic psychoacoustics and everything in between those, and so much more comes with the MKVS license. The other meaning of the word that I would often use and referring to is, of course, the scientific paper that I finished writing around 2019, 2020. This paper is called the Master Key Vocal System and contains the basic principles and pillars of the method I created and describes the application, the effectiveness, and the explanations and reasonings of the vocal system in great detail. On our website and in our legal documents, we often refer to the scientific paper as MKVS paper or simply MK. And of course, that's not all. We have one more meaning. The final meaning of the word is the trading name of the company behind us, the name of the corporation that is licensing the right to use and teach the system to our clients. Both the Master Key Vocal System and MKVS are registered trademarks, and we are certified and certified to utilize MKVS licenses worldwide exclusively, meaning that you cannot go and get this method anywhere else in the world. So to sum it up, when I talk about MKVS or the MKVS, it could mean the actual method, the scientific paper that I wrote, or the company that makes the licenses, basically, to you guys, right? However, I will always do my best to explain which of these different parts that I am referring to. So at least, hopefully, you know what's going on. So I hope that made a little bit of sense to all of you. If you have any questions, please just write them in the chat. And I will take a little sip of water. So, at one point, I was tired of not having enough information about effects known from rock and metal styles of singing. So I ended up contacting one of the world's finest voice scientists from Grenoble, France, named Nathalie Heinrich from Gypsy Lab. She then created a team of 2 ENTs and a speech therapist. We visited them in France in early 2019 with the RMS Vocal Institute team, and we dug deep into all the styles that was known at that point. So of course, right now, there are more different styles out there that are building around the same principles. However, the names and terms for these styles, of course, change with time. But however, at that specific point, there was nothing else than what we looked into. So we, of course, went to see how and be sure what's happening inside the voice box. We, of course, had an idea, but to be 100% sure about this, we went to do the actual research needed. So, for example, we looked into how the vocal effect known as fry or fry screaming is produced, how the ventricular folds work, and how the epiglottis creates vocal effects as well. We did all of this by doing endoscopic examinations, while we had sensors on our neck which could detect when the plica vocalis, also known as the true vocal folds, were closing and opening or not. We even had these specific fancy vests on, which could show how we control our breathing and in general how the breath support was while producing these extreme vocals or these vocal effects. And we ended up having a really interesting theory that got proven 1 year later about the ventricular folds, which I'm super proud of that we went that far into. And it's not even us who figured this out. we had an idea and said it's probably this that's happening, why the ventricular folds can close and so on and so on. But it actually got proven a year later. Super amazing to see. And later that year, Natalie and I ended up having a workshop at Europe's biggest workshop gathering about voice, named PVOC, where we talked about our findings. And in general, we could not have had a more amazing workshop. And it just went past all of our expectations. And this will always be one of the proudest moments in my life, at least. Watching all these experts accepting and wanting to know more about vocal effects, which is very dear to my heart, at least. I think what was the most important thing was that I explained that we don't just do these vocal effects because they're cool. It's because we want to express ourselves. And they kind of understood that it's just another way of expressing your emotions. So here at the MKVS, we of course take all styles of phonation, sound production, very serious, because it doesn't matter what or how you want to express yourself. We want to be the ones helping you to express yourself correctly. So, why did I start the MKVS? Well, I worked for like 2 years on ideas to create a new method to explain all about the voice in an easy way to understand. So before going to France and doing the proper research, I had some ideas that I wanted to look into in France as well. And all of them were proven to be healthy on a laryngeal level. So when I got back home, I started working like crazy. Yes, like crazy, to create some new ways to teach and finalize some of my ideas. When I suddenly fell over some newer research done on the brain and the voice production, which fit 100% with how I felt singing should always have been. So I dug a lot deeper, which ended up meaning me having basically no life. Let's put it as it is. I basically locked myself in, not seeing my friends as much as I should, and just kept on reading and reading and reading. Even when I took a break, I could barely have a normal conversation. I remember coming upstairs from my workspace and just looking my wife in the eye and saying, I cannot have a normal conversation right now. I'm so sorry, but my brain is still working on what I just read, trying to understand it and so on, which my wife was not very pleased about. So one day I suddenly saw it all much more clearly than I ever had. I saw a pathway that not any voice teacher, voice specialist, voice scientist have ever talked about. Some had talked about this part and that part, but no one ever put these parts together or fixed the puzzle. Mainly because everyone is working on one style and not the full picture. So the main thing that I did was just ask, what is singing? I didn't care about oh, this person is making ventricular sounds or fry screaming or operatic or modern styles of singing. That didn't matter. I just wanted to make a clean path that everyone could understand, which ended up as a one-size-fits-all method for all types of voice users, may it be singers, teachers, voiceover actors, actors in general, and in general anyone who wants to use their voice on a professional level. I know that this almost sounds too good to be true, but ask any of my students or teachers that I've helped so far, they will all say the same thing. The MKVS is a one-size-fits-all and makes your voice shine perfectly. So, the reason why I named this method or this system the Master Key Vocal System is that a master key, a master key is a key that opens up all the doors in important buildings. And I could not think about a more important building than our own bodies. And as a master key opens all locks, our system breaks through every blockage and any amount of walls that are between you and your dreams when it comes to speech, singing, or vocal production. By splitting or cutting every part into much easier to understand parts or pieces, so you can reach your actual potential, not like what is already out there, trying to make it so complex that it will take you, let's put it as it is, forever, or use a lot of time and a lot of lessons to reach anywhere. We want you to reach your goals as fast as possible, so you can start becoming the voice professional that you always wanted to be. So let's have a little look in the chat again. So Alex had a really interesting question there. Will you be teaching MKVS with RMS, or is this a very separate concept? Very amazing question, Alex. The MKVS and RMS are two separate things. The MKVS is a semester because for me to incorporate this method into your brain and let the brain take over basically and code this into your brain, that will take 6 months. So that's why I never wanted to make it into a by a single lesson at a time, because that would mean that I'm not in control of actually putting this method into your cerebral cortex basically. So I saw it as a different way of doing it. So the Master Key Vocal System takes anywhere between half a year to a year, depending on how your life is and how much time, free time you have basically. So I opened it up in such a way so it's, I want to be a professional with my voice, so I'm going to put in this amount of time for me to get there instead. I hope this at least made it a little bit more understandable. And with RMS, it's more lesson to lesson based instead. So it's not going to be me taking MKVS parts, using them at the RMS, or opposite. It is two different methods. There will be a little bit on the ventricular folds, that is how it is, but however, the overall method is two vastly different things. Boom, boom. Let's see. And I see MH Flycam is asking, is this method already accessible to anybody? Yes, it most definitely is. On our website, the www.themkvs.com, you can already purchase your semester at any given time. So it is already ready for both students and teachers, which we'll go into in a little bit. And thank you, Alex, that it makes sense. So I can see that Joshua is saying, if the body is in optimal state, the use of voice can be too, if I understand it a little bit. Well, I'm basically making sure that it's incorporated into your brain and it will stay there for a very long time. Meaning, basically, after it's incorporated, it's like lifting your arms, it's like bicycling, it's like anything else that you already can do, if you can bicycle. So it's a new thing that you learned, and it will stay in there for quite some time. If you use it here and there, then it will at least stay there, most definitely. It's a whole other way of looking at voice in every aspect. So I would deeply recommend that you at least consider trying it out. It is a very different way of looking at voice, much more easy way for you to learn all styles and understand how your voice can be optimized in every aspect. Cool. So, let's get back into it. The MKVS is not only me. I have a company behind the system, and they are the British Hekker Bros Ltd. Hekker Bros is also Hekker Bros, let me say it correctly. Hekker Bros is also the company behind RMS Vocal Institute, which is mainly run by Matthew Hekker, whom you'll see much more to in upcoming videos and in other content here and there as well. And because I liked the workflow and in general how we work together in RMS, I wanted to keep that with the MKVS. So I did not have to do all the website stuff, all the technical stuff. I am not that modern anymore. I guess I'm getting older. I am not a techie in that type of a thing. So we definitely balance out very, very well together, and I wanted to keep that workflow. So yeah, that's why we joined forces into the MKVS as well. Boom. A little bit of water. And thanks, Alex and Joshua, because they thought it was very clear. Very happy to hear. So I chose to make the MKVS a place to learn to be a pro voice user. That was my first initial idea. However, suddenly one day, with one of the owners of Hekker Bros Ltd, actually Matthew, and I had a chat about some specifics while we were proofreading some of the ideas and in general the paper, that I did not think was something new or exciting in any way, which ended up being a lot of extra research and ended up showing that the MKVS method can offer a fast and different way of listening to pitches and sounds in general. And as I speak, I started the final testing of an idea that I've had for a while. From all the neuroscience papers I have read and so on, I did my first test on a single person to make sure everything is safe and and so on. And it actually ended up being 100% successful. So the final test group is running at this moment. And as soon as that is done, then I'll let you all know a lot more about this. So the MKVS will not only be for voice professionals, but will have many more layers to it than initially expected. And very exciting, this summer we finally managed, because of COVID of course, to produce video footage. A lot of it. Explainer videos and in general videos, explainer videos is probably the best way to really say it. Both explainers of what is the method, but also how to get your license, and instead of you reading a lot of stuff on our website. They will of course be released here on YouTube. And let's look at the announcement video we made before traveling to these beautiful locations in Bulgaria. Hello there, my name is Søren. I'm the author of the Master Key vocal system.
And my name is Matthew Hekker, representative of Hekker Bros Ltd, the company behind MKVS.
We have wonderful news to share with you all. Now that the global pandemic of COVID-19 is a little bit dimmed down, now it's easier for us to create the content we always wanted to make for you guys.
We understand that it is crucial to make the Master Key vocal system's benefits and revolutionary method clear and easy to understand to you, so you have a better insight of the system and why you should and how you can get your own MKVS license.
In the following weeks, we'll be traveling to beautiful locations like this. And we'll break down what you absolutely need to know about our unique voice development method.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, where most of our new content will be released very soon. Also, please make sure you like and follow us on social media platforms.
And visit our website, themkvs.com, for more information about the Master Key vocal system. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. And so, as you heard in the video, we have been busy, and I do mean very busy, this past summer. We're currently editing and finalizing hours and hours and hours of footage that we captured over here in Bulgaria. We are very excited to share the final results with you very soon. These videos, as I kind of mentioned, will include how-to explainer videos for those who are interested to get their MKVS license, and many other videos that you can learn more about the MKVS and how it works. So be sure to stay tuned really on our YouTube channel when these different videos will be released on, of course, our website and also YouTube, as I mentioned. At this point, as I kind of heard someone talk about, at this point we offer two ways of joining the MKVS, which is as a teacher or a student, by purchasing your own teacher's or student license. What is common in both licenses is that you will learn to split the voice into pieces and see or hear what the issue is, or how to copy the sound of your favorite singer or actor to be able to express yourself in the way that you always dreamt of. So let's see if there's any questions before we go further. Amazing, Joshua. I cannot wait to hear what you think about the explainer videos when they are released. I can see Alex is asking, what form is the MKVS education delivered in? Is it videos or articles or live lessons or a combination? Well, Alex, the way that we teach, mainly also because of COVID, as you can guess, is of course mainly live. So you will have personalized lessons just as we do at the RMS Vocal Institute as well. So you'll have personalized lessons with me or with any of the other teachers. Right now we also have Elvis from Hong Kong, which would be an option to use as your teacher. It is made in a way so teachers get the actual paper. Students will get a lesser complicated paper with all the main information that they need to be able to learn every style that exists. So you don't need to know about neuroscience as much as my teachers do. I hope that was clear at least, Alex. Otherwise, let me know and I will most definitely go back to your question. So I will again say, please do not forget to visit our website, the mkvs.com, if you are interested and want to know more about the Master Key vocal system. And at the top of our landing page, you will find the navigation menu, where you can click on FAQ, which stands for the frequently asked questions. Here, we answer the most common questions and explain things that we did not have time to cover in this webinar. And soon there will be a video explaining the main things, because we do understand that is a lot of text to go through and a lot of information to read. So we will always make videos explaining each part on our website. We're just not there yet, but they will appear, we promise. Otherwise, you'll have to take the big reading glasses on. At the bottom of our landing page, you can find the email subscription section. If you feel like joining our subscription, our newsletters, we do not push emails out every day or something crazy like that. You will maximum, and I do mean maximum, get something twice a month, if so. We don't want to bother you every day with emails like some companies do with the email subscription. We will only give you notifications when we have webinars or other very exciting things to share. So no spam whatsoever. We do promise this. So, to get back on track, the MKVS is a revolutionary way of understanding and using the voice, and might even be the fastest way to learn it all from point zero to pro level singing. I personally, as a teacher, have never seen anything go as fast as this does. I say that it takes 6 months to a year to put this inside your brain so it's as natural as driving a bike. However, the learning curve is insane, and that is my honest opinion. I was baffled watching my first test subjects, or students as we can call it as well, and I didn't believe what was happening in front of me. It went that fast. So the MKVS is a revolutionary way of understanding how to use the voice. And it's kind of like a shortcut, basically, to your to figuring out how your voice works. But of course, most of these shortcut methods, right? They have a lot of issues, basically. But however, this method does not have any drawbacks or deficiencies whatsoever. So, as I mentioned, it is most likely the fastest way of fixing any issue you might have had before or you have with your voice in general. So if you want to become a true voice professional, then this method is meant for you. It is a systematic approach that will make it easier to understand, no matter what level you're at when you begin your journey with us. We can safely say that you will accomplish your voice goals no matter how high of a mountain that you have ahead. We will get you there safely, effectively, and also professionally. If you do not believe me, that's okay. Then join us for our next webinar, where you will hear from Loclyn from Utah, USA, as a guest on our live stream. She's a very talented singer who has an MKVS license as a singer, of course. And she will, of course, share her own experiences working with me and the MKVS. We're doing everything we can to make a live singing thing going on as well, where she will sing a few songs for you live without all these fancy mixing and mastering cheats that you can find on YouTube nowadays. So we try to make it very pure so you guys can hear how well that this method works for any voicing that you would want to use. So we will, of course, both her and I, we will both answer any questions you might have in general. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon on our YouTube channel to get notified, as it's called, about the next live stream event. So let me see if there's any last minute questions. Alex is happy that as a singer he doesn't need to know neuroscience on a PhD level. I do understand it's not needed as an actual singer. You don't need to know all these fancy names of what's where in the brain. That would not make any sense, and that's kind of what I made this method for as well. So it's not like you need to learn all these fancy words for you to become an amazing singer. It is a shortcut in the right way, where you get enough information for you to color your voice, make the right choices that you want to use, and in general make your voice sound exactly as you want to. And MH Flycam is asking, will you have videos, webinars explaining more about the student and teacher licenses? Most definitely we will. We already have videos with the actual students on our YouTube channel, if you didn't notice. However, we will have videos explaining more about the licenses, both for teachers and students, coming up very soon. So Joshua is asking something about metal singers right now. Personal interest question. Biggest difference between Sam Carter and Chester B? I think it's Chester Bennington he's mentioning from Linkin Park. And Sam Carter, if I remember correctly, is from the band called Architects. Well, they are basically using the same technique with small differences. As you can kind of guess this method is a little bit more close with what we're doing to achieve these different sounds. However, I would say that Sam Carter, from what I have heard, used less fry involved with his distorted sounds, where Chester used a little bit more frequent fry screaming here and there. They both don't only use fry screaming, they use irregular vibrations from their true vocal folds while they add the ventricular folds on top. So I hope that helped a little bit at least. So before we sign off, I would like to bring your attention to our 50, and you did hear correct, 50% discount from the first 5 teacher licenses. 2 licenses are already gone, so make sure to grab your MKVS license for half the price while it's still available. If you ask Elvis, which we'll put a video out about very soon, he is a singer in a band as well, and he actually wanted to take the teacher's license simply to know even more. That is a different approach. So you might not want to use it as your main thing, as becoming a teacher in that per se, but Elvis wants to use it both for his band and to teach voicing. So it's a 2-in-1 basically for some people to take an actual teacher's degree instead. So at least think about it, that it's not just one or the other. You will learn how to control your own voice in a whole other level than you ever have before. So amazing, Josh. Very happy that was very clear. I truly hope that this seems interesting. And if you have any questions, please contact me on my email, which is shown on the screen right now, or at least close to right now. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as I said a few times before, so you do not miss our future live streams and newly uploaded videos about the MKVS. It's been a true pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you to those who joined me today in general, and have a wonderful day or night depending where you're located, and hopefully I'll see you soon next time. If you want your voice to transform into the one you always wished for, go to our website and get your MKVS license now. All the best from me and the rest of the MKVS team. Have an amazing time and an amazing day, and see you soon.